Well, good morning. Hope you've all had a great, fabulous Easter weekend. Great to have, I think, Chantel's on with us. Feel free to hop on with camera, audio, to be a part of the masterclass this morning. Quite a bit to go through, more of a practical session, looking at how you can generate really good methods to generate new leads from LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is the primary place that I work on. We also look at email marketing. So I'm just going to basically, next 20 minutes, we've got a quick slide deck to run through. I'm going to be dipping in and out of the LinkedIn platform, showing you some great tactics on how to kind of win more leads, really. Happy to answer any questions. If you can say them towards the end, great. If you want to pop your hand up and ask a question, that's fine. But lovely to have you with us this morning, Chantel. And let's get started with the masterclass. So I'm just going to open a new screen share. Here we go. So we're looking at 4 ways to find your prospects and how we can kind of leverage LinkedIn as a fantastic tool to find B2B prospects. On the agenda today, we're going to look at, I'm going to do a quick introduction, quick overview of kind of what Leith is as well, looking at LinkedIn basic searches, so how to conduct those basic LinkedIn searches. We're going to look at group searches, and that's another technique that a lot of people are using to kind of find more prospects. Number 4 is LinkedIn events. So that's stepping into very similar to group strategy, but just finding another location on LinkedIn to find those prospects. Step 5 there, number 5 on the agenda is looking at Apollo.io. Apollo.io is a third-party email marketing platform. It's also a data repository, a really good tool if you're on a tight budget and you just want to start to generate a bit of interest. Then it kind of dovetails quite nicely with other techniques when you use them as well. And we'll go into some open Q&A at the end. And if there's time, I'll also demonstrate the Leith's very own prospect finder tool, which is quite a powerful way to find prospects. So let's kick off. So welcome to the masterclass. And this is part of a 13-week cycle. This is actually week 1 where we kick off. We then run through lots of different elements in terms of lead generation strategies for your business. So just to give you a bit of an overview, my name's Alex Smith. I'm the founder of Leith. Leith is basically a digital marketing solution that integrates LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile and software to automate lots of processes to get you more leads, get you more business. So very much I'm a guide or a coach that comes alongside you and helps you in that whole process, as opposed to a lot of tools out there which kind of like give you a help video or something like that, and off you go. You have to kind of create all this stuff yourself. So I'm actually offering a kind of done for you service as well. So where does it all start? In terms of kind of marketing, we've got this funnel model, and this is a classic marketing model that describes a customer journey right away from that very first touch point to the purchase and beyond. And it's called a funnel because, as you can see, there's the number as you go down that funnel, the number of prospects at each different stage decreases. And that's a bit like liquid flowing through a funnel. The stages of the funnel are awareness, and that's obviously when your people become aware of your product or service or your brand. Interest, and that's that kind of when they put their hand up, want more information, you know, they're starting to consider your offering. Then you've got that's kind of weighing up their other options with potential competitors, and then you've got the purchase stage where they've kind of made the decision. Yeah, they're going to go with it, they're going to buy from you. And then we've got retention, which is where you aim to keep them as a loyal customer for as long as you can. Now, this has been kind of turned on its head in recent years, and we have this thing called the flywheel effect or the flywheel model. And this methodology, I love to share this. This is where we start at the top there. We're attracting those clients, like same as the other marketing funnel. We're engaging with them with valuable kind of value add content. Once they become a client, we're delighting with them. Yeah, we're exceeding their expectations, and we're going to provide them with great experience. And then hopefully they become advocates. So they'll spread the word and become a loyal customer. And also that in turn attracts more people. So you've got this constant cycle, which is fantastic. Now, where does that sit in with Leith and everything? So this is the roadmap that we take clients on this journey from identifying their target audience on, LinkedIn or wherever that platform might be, And then we look at priming their personal LinkedIn profile. So once we understand who the audience is that we're going after, we need to make sure we can clearly speak to that audience. And the LinkedIn profile is the first thing that they'll come to, that they'll see, that professional headshot, the graphic image, and really intriguing headline copy to make them want to connect with you. Number 3 is all about leveraging the automation. So we've actually got a software tool, and it basically does this all on autopilot. It will connect with people, and that's what we're going to be doing today in the session. We're going to be showing you how to connect with people on LinkedIn, and where to find those prospects. Number 4, the natural bolt on to this, is an email outreach piece. And again, we kind of touch base on a little bit of this with the Apollo tool. Step 5 is all about content. Content is king. So we work with you to create 13 unique 1 to 2 minute videos, and that will be shot, edited, and sliced up with captions. And then those go out on a 13-week rotating cycle. So we recycle it 4 times a year, and then that puts you up front center as an influencer, a leader in your industry. And yeah, the final step is appointment setting. So it's kind of driving people into that call to action, having a decent system to capture those appointments, manage your calendar, send out the reminders, and automate all of that process is vital. So that's a quick overview of what we're doing. So LinkedIn, yeah, 875 million members now, across 200 different countries and regions. It actually turned 20 years old this year. So LinkedIn was launched back in 2003. So it's 20 years. It's an incredible platform, professional B2B platform. It's like the professional version of Facebook or Meta. So we're going to dive into some of the practical stuff right now. I'm going to show you how to conduct some basic LinkedIn searches. So there's a whole section before this, if you want to catch up on previous videos, where I talk about defining your niche, understanding your target client, target audience. So some of that comes into play with these demonstrations. But here we go. We're in a LinkedIn browser, and I'm just going to show you basically how to try and find some prospects. So presumably you've got a LinkedIn account. It could be you've not used it for some years, but basically LinkedIn will allow you to connect with around about 100 prospects on a weekly basis. So you could be really building your network considerably. I mean, if you get a 50% connection acceptance rate, that's that's 250 new people in your network every single month. Times that by the number of months in the year, 12. I'm going to have to bring up the calculator for this one because my maths is not brilliant, but you're potentially looking at an audience of 3,000 every year growing. Obviously, that's capped at around about 25 to 30,000 potential people that you can be connected with. So some you might have to drop off if they're no longer relevant to you. But I'm going to just show you the technique to do this manually. Maybe you haven't got the budget to afford to do this, and I'll show you kind of how it can all be done manually. So the big secret here is the search box at the very top. And if you click that search box, you can see all your previous searches, whatever you want to look for. So for me, I could be thinking, right, I'm really looking for a SaaS founder. So a SaaS basically is a software as a service. So those are quite key for me. Or you see what I've done there? I've put a capital OR in the search term. And I'm going to search for other words. So it could be SaaS owner. And these are quite specific search terms. So someone would have to put SaaS founder or SaaS owner. It could be that they've got a software business and they are the owner of that software business, in which case they probably wouldn't come up in my search. In this kind of Boolean search criteria, you can also put negative search terms. So I put not, and then maybe put retired. So if I retired, people kind of drive me up the wall because, they're winding down and they don't tend the conversations don't tend to go anywhere. So you can also do that. So straight away, that search will bring up a list of prospects. And obviously LinkedIn is split up into first degree connections. So these are people that you're already connected to. You've got second degree connections. So they're basically people that are only one person away from you on LinkedIn. I'll just close down these messages because lots of things are popping up here, left, right, and center. So we're interested when we're trying to connect with people on LinkedIn using the searches. We're trying to connect with people on a personal level. People buy from people, not from brands or companies as such. So it's important we choose people search in that LinkedIn search. And there we go. We've got quite a list there, 584 in my network. All kind of probably credible SaaS founders, and all up to doing various things. So these could be a really good audience for me to connect with and showcase how I might be able to help them. And LinkedIn's all about adding value. So everything you do, you got to think, how can I add value to this person? How can I add value in this conversation? How can I add value with everything I'm doing on LinkedIn with the comments and all of that, the likes. So we filter by the prospect. So I filtered for second degree connection. So these are people, they're only one person away from me, and it tells you, who the mutual connection is. Here we go. It's got 7 other mutual connections, which is great. So we can also then filter by location. So for me, if I want to connect with anybody in the UK, is great for me. So I've got a list here of 34 prospects ready to go that I can then connect with and start marketing my services to them. As I say, with that connection request, it's a very straightforward process here. I'm actually going to right click on that connect button. I can't do it. I'll right click on their profile and we can open a new window. So what that's done is it leaves the list here. So we're not going to lose this list. So we can keep coming back to it again and again, and it doesn't create another action on LinkedIn's end. So from the LinkedIn profile, we can see what they're up to. We can see that they're a founder of a business. We could look at that company in a bit more detail, find out what they're about. Are they something to do with building affiliate stores? I can see. So yeah, they could be a really good fit here. And then it's how do we go about connecting with this person in a way that they're going to want to engage with us? Recently, I've discovered a lot of people talk about the pink suit on LinkedIn. So the pink suit theory is all about finding something that somebody's put on their profile deliberately because they want you to engage about that, whatever that might be. So for an example, in their profile description, it could say something that they're passionate about, that they something that they're interested in. There'll be something there. So here we go. We've got he's a kite surfer, I can see on his about. So keen traveler and kite surfer. So he's really putting a bit of his personality across on that. So that is a great thing to kind of utilize now in a connection message. So I'll click connect, and we can add a custom message for him. So if I wasn't to type a custom message in here to Carey, then quite possibly he would just kind of decline that request. Whereas if you add a personalization to it, we're increasing the chances of this prospect to connect with us. And we can go to add a note, and it gives you a suggestion. We know each other from blah, 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 blah. So I'm now gonna just put hi, Carey. Just checked out your LinkedIn profile. I noticed you're a keen kite surfer. Have you traveled? So I can't spell today. Have you surfed? Near Chesil Beach, down the road from me. So we're not actually going into any salesy things. This is just relationship building. LinkedIn's about building up a relationship with one person to another. So it's we save the salesy pitches, right? Kind of message 3 or 4, we can start to introduce our services. Just looking for an intro into this guy. So completely. Well, I might even put hope you had a good Easter, because then it's relevant as well. Hope you had a good Easter. Hope you had a good Easter. Grammar's really poor. Great. And that message goes out and we can see it's now pending. We get a little ding, and we can then close that profile off and then go on to the next prospect in our list of people. So some people, as you can see, like this one, there's no connect button. So again, right click, open the prospect in a new window or a new tab. I'll do it in a new tab, so then at least you can see it still on the screen share. And then we've got, what we've got here is we've got, again, we've got their name, where they're based. So something to do with social media, management of Instagram stuff. It seems to be what this guy's into. Again, if we wanted to connect, we've got the more button and we can connect there. So for some people, they have their profile set up as a LinkedIn creator. So sometimes following comes before connecting. So if that's the case, just open up the more button and then you can connect with them. And the key is in the follow-up. So keep an eye on your LinkedIn messages, see what when people are replying. What I actually do at Leith is I actually automate this whole process. Viewing a profile is done by automation. We then, send a personalized connection message, all on automation, and that just speeds it up. If you can do that, 25 times a day on autopilot, 7 days a week, that's just awesome. And I'll show you some stats later on how we can achieve that. So going back to the next strategy that we're going to look at today is LinkedIn group searches. Sorry, that was events. LinkedIn group searches. So this is where we can find prospects in what we call LinkedIn groups. So a little bit like Facebook groups, if you've ever seen Facebook groups. But think about what is a common thing that's going to bring your prospects together. So it could be female-owned businesses is a common one that a lot of people search for. Female-owned companies. See what comes up. There we go, female-owned. And we're going, instead of a people search now, we're going down to group search. So we're changing the search type to a group. And what we can see is quite a few different groups here. We've got women in healthcare, benefits, HR, leadership, women's executive, women of insurance, change it to maybe woman-owned business might come up with a few more. Here we go. So women-owned businesses. Wow, 2K members. Women-owned business club. So lots of prospects within these groups. So the way groups work is you have to join a group, and there'll be a group administrator who can then normally it takes 2 or 3 days for them to accept you into that group. So they'll look at your profile and see whether you're viable. So if I was a woman maybe, and I was leading a business, and I thought, yeah, this is a good group because there's potentially a lot of my type of clients that might be sat in that group, then I would want to go and join that group. You can click on the group and you can see what it's about and see a bit of information. It tells you about, it tells you who the admin is of the group and what they're up to. And this gives you a bit of insights in terms of the members that are a part of that group. So once you've joined a group, so for example, I'll take you to some of my groups that I'm part of. So here we go, a B2B lead generation group. So it's all the types of people that I'm, potentially could market to and help and support and give ideas to. I can see there's 12,000 members here. So it's quite a focused congregation point of potential prospects here. And as you can see, now I've joined the group, so now I'm a member of the group. I can also invite some of my contacts to the group to further grow the group. I can obviously contribute just within the group with a video, a post, a poll. Polls are really good for engagement creation. And I can also have a look at see who's actually in this group. So when we click show all, we've got a very similar list to what came up earlier, but obviously these are just filtered everyone in the group. So I might just want to hand pick out the second degree connections that I'm already connected to and then connect with them. But because we're all part of the same group, you don't have to connect with someone first. You can just message them right here from the group. And that's the power of LinkedIn groups. So I might not be even starting to connect with them because these are third degree people. It's just sending a message. So I'm going to have a look through the list, see if I can see anyone who kind of sticks out for me, who might be interested in. So we've got digital marketer, a lot of foreign names. So you can actually, if you wanted to be a bit more specific, you can actually sign up for something called Sales Navigator. Now, Sales Navigator is like the premium version of LinkedIn. Typically costs around about 70 quid, £69.99 a month to subscribe to it. But they give you a free 30-day trial. And when you activate that trial, a Sales Navigator will allow you to, it will identify groups that you're a part of. And then within those groups, you can filter by country, by second degree connection. So you can make sure you're going after the real right sort of people. So you're filtering a filter, technically, which is a very powerful way to target people. So that's kind of our next technique there. It's just a matter of identifying these prospects, going on to message them. And there you go, you've got a message that you can connect with. So you can see I've actually I've sent them a campaign previously. So I'm not yet connected with them, but I've sent them a message saying, I noticed we're both part of the LinkedIn B2B lead generation group. And just curious, have you started using automation tools for consistent workflow on LinkedIn? So I'm actually kind of messaging her already. And that's how I've done it with automation. So my call to action is to lead them towards a demo call where they can find out more about the software and tools that I provide. So that's how we're connecting. And there's no kind of, in terms of limits of, if you're doing this manually, you could work through this list just one after another continually. But the smart people will get automation involved. And tools like Leith will basically hammer out those invites. So make sure you're getting lots of exposure. You're being put right in front of lots of people all at once. Okay, and the kind of number 3 strategy that we're going to look at is LinkedIn events. So LinkedIn events, basically anyone can set up an event on LinkedIn. As long as you've got 150, I believe, connections already on LinkedIn, you can set up an event on your personal page. Or you can create events on your business page, your company events. So you can imagine, obviously with COVID and lockdowns, a lot of events went digitally. So these are not just face-to-face events, but you can actually put on digital events, Zoom calls. So I obviously host all these as LinkedIn events. So back to LinkedIn, it's a very similar search principle again. So we're going to look for an event that might be really relevant to what we're doing. So I'm thinking of marketing conferences could be a good one. Search all of LinkedIn. And I'm actually going to go to see events automatically. The word conference has probably helped because it's automatically pushing a lot of prospects up to the top. So there's one Q2 email marketing tips by Guru Events. So this Guru Events have got a couple of things. They've got a conference. So yeah, the world's leading virtual email marketing conference. So this is all about, so it could be the right sorts of prospects for me within here. So we click on the actual event. So I'm just demonstrating how we can try and identify those prospects. And you see we've got, this is a live webinar. Yep, so it's not even a face-to-face event. We know the date, the time, Friday, May the 19th. So it's well into the future. But the beauty is I can start connecting with all the participants of this event. So we go to register and we put in our email address and we give the organization can use the information centers for appropriate. We won't tick that box. Okay, so we're now attending this event and it was that easy to sign up to that event. Very easy. We can add it to our calendar just to remind us about it if we want to do that at a later date. But as you can see, we've got 2,835 attendees, okay, are being drawn into this marketing type related event. So these guys who are headed up the event, you know, they've got the marketing budget, they've put this event on, they've brought in the guest speakers, they've done huge amounts of work in terms of finding prospects to go to their event. And what we can do is we can harness their marketing budget and all their marketing and now just start connecting with people who are also going to the event. Again, if you've got the Sales Navigator tool, it's a very powerful piece because you can actually come into Sales Navigator and say, hey, out of the people that are coming to this event, the 2,600 events, let's further filter those prospects. So we're quite limited in terms of what we can do with the free version of LinkedIn. So I've only got the free version at the moment. But still, even second degree prospects, yeah, that helps. And I could say, yeah, I just want to focus on a UK market. So I could focus on just UK prospects. And straight away, I've got 27 new prospects here who I'm not yet connected with. And I could just go through those people and say, are these people that are going to be relevant to me? Do I need to be connecting with them? Could what I have help them? And again, it's a simple campaign running through these guys, messaging them and saying, hey, do you think we could connect? I noticed you're down to attend this event. What is it about this event that you're looking forward to? Just think practically, how to kind of build some conversations with these people. So there we go. That's 3 super duper ways to start connecting with people on LinkedIn, where to find them. And it won't cost you a penny. It just takes time. That's the biggest downfall. If you're looking to kind of save on the time front, then you need to think about automation seriously. And I really recommend you scheduling a one-to-one with me where I can demonstrate a really good tool that will do this on autopilot. So you can just crack on with what you need to do, running your business, and let all this happen on autopilot for you. And it's all perfectly legal. LinkedIn allows it because it's done through an API, so they know it's going on. So if you've got any concerns about LinkedIn and automation and your account closing down, it's what I've been doing for the last 4 years or more, and it's worked very effectively to build my own client base. So we're going to move on now to the next one. And the next one is a third-party tool, and this is called Apollo.io. Now, I was introduced to Apollo.io probably around about 2 years ago, and we used it as a tool to create basically a short sales email marketing sequence to target prospects. Email marketing is kind of people kind of think, it's a bit more spammy. It's kind of accepted that, you can be contacted via email regarding something that might help you in business. That's just how the world revolves these days. So in terms of data, where we get that data, if you head over to the Apollo system, create a free account. As I say, this is another free technique that will help you to kind of contact prospects. So once you go into Apollo, you get a menu bar at the top here, and we can go to search, and we can go to a people search. So it's very similar to what we did with LinkedIn, except the difference is we're now looking at specific prospects in our location, specific size companies. So here's a saved search that I've done earlier. So I've got this persona which I've set up, and it's marketing leaders based on them being an owner, founder, C-level, partner, VP, or a director of a company, and the contact. So they've got to be within England, United Kingdom. And then I've gone for job titles as well. So I only want to be put in touch with marketing managers and marketing directors of marketing, or directors of marketing and comms. So there's some really good titles that I've got. And as you can see from this search database here, so all this data is pulled from various sources, but it's all really good data. And we can basically access their email address using a credit-based system, and that costs 1 credit. And Apollo gives you 25 free credits every month. I think when you actually start with about 100 credits as well. So every month you can go into this tool and really get a refined list of who you want to be connecting with via email. The beauty is every profile here is also connected to a LinkedIn address as well. So if we wanted to connect with them on LinkedIn using the previous approach that I showed you through like the basic search, we're skipping that out completely. So if you think, James of this company here, OJ Fresh Limited, I'm not sure what they do, but let's go and have a look. We can take a look at their website if we want in the new window. So it's obviously something to do with these fresh fruit juice equipment. They make blenders and things, and probably have various brands, so supplying juicing machines. Love a juicer. I'd get a lot more vitamins into me. To connect with James, we've obviously got a LinkedIn profile. There we go. And then that's his personal profile. So that's the company. And then we can go to his personal LinkedIn profile. So all all these probably 3,600 prospects have been mapped out automatically to LinkedIn profiles. So straight away, we can click in, find James and go straight to him. He's a second degree connection already. So we've got a few mutual connections. And then from this is where we go and connect with him and start to build that conversation. And again, when you start to incorporate automation, that makes it really help. So this, you've just seen this fly in here. This is an Apollo Chrome extension for Google Chrome. And this allows us to save this contact into, so it works a little bit like a CRM, and we can actually save that contact. We can have a look at insights, what they're up to, different things there, any colleagues that we might need to connect with as well. And yeah, if I wanted to use a credit now with James, what I could do is click view the email address. And as you can see, that's used up 1 credit. We've now got a contact here, which we can then email. Okay. So we can just send a traditional email from our own email marketing system, or we can go across to Apollo and see we've got James here. We can now allocate him to a sequence that we might have already created. So I've actually created one just for marketing directors based in the UK. And yeah, we can just add him to that campaign. I'll just show you what that campaign is doing. So there we go, success. We can now go over to engage, and we've got sequences. So I've created, there's a couple of sequences. You can actually create 2 with the free version of Apollo. So this one here, as you can see, we've got 1 active prospect. So that's the guy that I just added, James. We can see there's day 1 is an automatic email. So we tell it the times of day that we want it to send. We can see exactly how many have been delivered. So 144 have been delivered. 41 have opened, which gives us a 42% open rate, which is pretty good. And the reply rate is around about 4% on that. You can see how many have opted out as well when you hover over the stats. But for me, yeah, it's pretty much a salesy type email, straight into it with kind of what we do, how we work. Yeah, and that's kind of it. And then on the back of that email, if he's not responded, he'll get day 2 automatic email as well. And that basically talks about the masterclass that I run with a web link so you can connect. And yeah, and then a case study on day 5 is introduced. And then day 6, we go into kind of like a 4th message out, very simple. Again, just to kind of nudge the conversation. So that's how I use Apollo email marketing. Some people have had really good success with this. When you start to use AI to introduce some clever stuff like icebreakers, there's lots of tools out there that can do that for you. If you go through my YouTube channel, I've done one actually on Copy Factory. That's a really good tool, which have got an API. It basically generates all those icebreakers on a data list. So you can give it a data list, and there you go. So that's kind of the 5 main techniques that we've looked at today. Basic LinkedIn searches. We've looked at LinkedIn group searches, and we've also looked at finding prospects by joining LinkedIn events and then marketing to those prospects through LinkedIn events. Apollo email, okay, it's not LinkedIn, but again, it's kind of loosely connected with LinkedIn in terms of finding those profiles and connecting with people. So there's some 4 free strategies to get more leads for your business. Hope you found this very useful. I'm just going to share another tool, and that is my own tool, Leith. If you've got 5 minutes, so I can quickly run through that. I really appreciate you holding on the call. So here we go. We've got Leith here. So this is connected to my personal LinkedIn profile. Okay, so this is all the automations and how it works, what it's doing. So I've got several campaigns that are running all on autopilot here. But I wanted to show you this feature of the tool, and this is called the Prospect Finder. And this allows us to really kind of hone in on that audience, to find that audience in a way that's very similar to Apollo, like we did with the Apollo search. Again, like we can do with the LinkedIn search, we're just doing it all from the same platform that's going to automate the messages and automate the personalization and do everything absolutely amazingly for me. And generate all those prospects into one inbox, so I can just keep an eye on the leads coming in one place. The LinkedIn messages, the emails, the cold emails, everything all in one place, which just means you don't lose anything. So it's efficiency. And when you start to do this, this efficiency, it just helps you to win more sales because you're just a lot more proactive. You're sending out a lot more nudges to prospects as well. So as you can see, we've got different regions we can break this down to. So, I'll click Europe. We've then got location. So I can go for United Kingdom, and I'll keep it quite wide for this specific search. You can also specify the company location. So it could be where they're headquartered. We've got the contact information. So what information do we want to know about them? So if you have to have a phone number for a prospect, you need to tick that box. Okay, I'm not too fussed because I'm just connecting with them on LinkedIn. That's my strategy for this one. And we've got job title. So head of marketing, and boom. And I want to speak to a marketing director. Ultimately, people that are going to have the decision, be able to make the decisions for their business and be quite senior level. So if you just type a word like marketing, you get some suggestions that come up: marketing specialists, sales and marketing specialists, digital marketing managers, interns, so director of marketing could be another one, head of marketing, CMO, so that's chief marketing officer. Might have to spell it out. Spell it right though. Co-founder and chief marketing officer. CMA, chief marketing executive. Chief marketing officer. There we go. Specify the seniority level. So again, we can drill down to how high up in the organization they are, VPs. So yeah, I've gone for director, VP, and CXO, which covers all of them. We can then also filter down by the company size under employee headcount. So for me, I tend to prefer to work with the SMEs. I haven't really got too much experience working with huge, big corporates. I've got a couple of clients on board in the insurance space. They're pretty big, but certainly where I work best is this kind of 11 to 50 kind of mark, and smaller. So we can apply those filters, and this then goes off and finds those prospects. So there's 640. So those 640, they're mapped to LinkedIn profiles, and just let this whirl around. It takes a little bit of time. So we've got 3,900 prospects. So a similar sort of size search to the one back here in Apollo. If I go back to Apollo search, I can't remember how many it was we searched for in Apollo now. Let's just see if I can bring it up quickly. So this was the marketing leaders one that I did. Yeah, 3,600 in Apollo. And those are mostly all mapped to LinkedIn profiles where possible. Some might not be. So a very similar search, and we've just basically done it within my tool. So from this search, we can then select a prospect, and then we can choose to enrich that prospect, very similar to what we do in Apollo. And what we've got here is, as you can see, we've got a business email address for the prospect, and they're verified email addresses. We've also got a personal email address, which is quite handy, and we've got a phone number, so we can touch base with them on the phone after we've connected with them. So basically what we're doing in Leith is now adding a selected range of prospects. So it could be that all these kind of directors and heads of marketing, they could all be relevant prospects for me to then enrich and start sending marketing. So we can add them straight away to a marketing campaign, which we've already set up. And when we talk about a campaign, I'll just show you one of my basic campaigns for, like, say, marketing director campaign. For me, you can add searches in via a CSV or via the LinkedIn search or via the prospect finder, like I've just showed you. So all the methods, we can add prospects on autopilot here. So LinkedIn groups, you paste in the group URL, and boom, we can start pulling in all those prospects into the system. Once they're in the system, they go down this funnel, this automation funnel, and this is what it looks like. We've got a comes in at the top. We perform an action, a profile view. We then send a connection request to them. I actually send them a personalized video request, and that's all done in the software on autopilot. It's pretty impressive, I know. If we're connected with them, then we send them a message. If we're not connected with them, we try and send them a follow-up message as well, just to try and nudge them. And then we go for an email, and we can choose which email we want to send them to. So work email, personal email, or the enriched email, of course. So I'm just going to work emails if I'm not connected with them. Whereas if I am connected with them, we try a personal email, we try a work email, we try the enriched email. And if we haven't got the enriched email, we use the enrichment credit as part of the workflow to get their enriched email. Worst case scenario is you can use the traditional in-mail if you've got Sales Navigator, and that's just another way. So we've got here a nice campaign where we're combining LinkedIn messaging, email outreach, all in one platform. So on a day-to-day basis, I'll just close this and show you what it looks like. So I'll be coming here into my inbox, running through the list of replies that I'm getting. So here we go. Somebody's received my personalized campaign. This was basically, I noticed he recently attended an event on building a personal business brand on LinkedIn. I then sent him to a personalized landing page, which looks like this. He then clicks on the personal LinkedIn landing page. He sees his picture of his profile. Wow. And he sees a picture of me here doing a voiceover.
Hi there, my name's Alex, and I'm just looking through your LinkedIn profile. I noticed you recently attended an event on personal branding with LinkedIn, and that was by Maverick. I also attended it. It was a really great, helpful session. So I'm just connecting with all the attendees now.
So it's a personalized video, very tailored to him with his personal name. And yeah, we try and incorporate company name if we've got it. But then call to action is click the link and register for my lead generation masterclasses. So that's kind of a new strategy that I've just trying out. And yeah, I can tell you how it's going so far. So for this one, we can mark that as a lead. He looks like a positive. He's happy to connect. And then we can further resume the campaign sequence. So he gets the next sequence in the messages, whatever that might be. So yeah, going back to campaigns, that's my personal branding campaign. So basically we're using the LinkedIn events strategy to target LinkedIn event postures. As you can see, 60% acceptance rate, very high, very high. And that's purely because they're all relevant to me. You know, we're not going out to any Tom, Dick and Harry. This is people that are very interested in what we're doing. It's a LinkedIn related event. So they're all going to be actively on the LinkedIn platform, know about events, signed up to events. So out of those, we're seeing a 15% reply rate, which is really good. Compare that to the cold outbound email campaign where we were seeing around about, I think it was a 4%. Yeah, that marketing director's one that's 4% reply rate, which is a lot lower. So if you think about your numbers going into that funnel, the more we can drive down that funnel, the better. And I believe this is a fantastic solution to increase the number of prospects that you're engaging with. This has been a whistle-stop tour of kind of some strategies with LinkedIn. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. I will just hop onto LinkedIn, see if there's any, and the Zoom chat. I can see, Chantel, you're still with us. Feel free to hop on the call. It'd be great to meet you, understand who you are and what you're up to, and give you an opportunity if you're happy to come on the live stream. If not, that's okay. But it'd be good to know what were your biggest takeaways from the session today. I'll just leave that open for a few moments, and I'll also check on LinkedIn Live just to see what's if we've got anybody else. Just put any questions on the LinkedIn Live. It's juggling a lot of screens this morning. And here we go. So yeah, thanks for joining this session this morning. It's been a real privilege to share some of these tips with you. A lot of screens this morning. That's my own voice talking to myself. Yep, Victor. Thank you, Victor. Fantastic to see Victor on the call. Early doors, and Simon Reed. So using this filter, you would need to receive it. Yeah. So just to answer Simon Reed's question, he's asked, would you say that using this filter, you wouldn't need to use the Sales Navigator? So yeah, correct. So I don't have Sales Navigator. I save myself £70 a month. £70 a month times that by 12 months in a year, that's £840. Yeah, I use the Leith tool, the Leith Prospect Finder tool, instead to find me leads, and it works just as effectively. So yeah, no need to Sales Navigator if you're using the Leith tool. Yeah, and it's in terms of kind of what it's doing for you. If you hired a VA to do all the outbound connections on LinkedIn. I'll just give you an overview. I normally do this at the end of the week just to show people for accountability in terms of how many messages I'm actually sending out. Obviously, we've had Easter here in the UK, so my Thursday, Friday, and Monday yesterday, I personally haven't been too active on the platform doing anything, but I left the automation going. Why not? So we can see that in that last period, 109 connection requests have gone out. Obviously, LinkedIn's limit is around about 100. So smashing out the connection requests. LinkedIn messages that I've sent. So I've sent 70 messages in the last week. I've viewed 185 profiles. I've accepted. So out of those 100, 44 have accepted. So that's basically a 43% acceptance rate or thereabouts, which is pretty high acceptance rate. And these are from LinkedIn campaigns. And then 21 replies on the back of those accepted profiles. And we can see how many new leads or new customers are coming through that week. We can track those. I'm not the best at kind of actually tracking the new leads and going through them in too much detail, but just to give you an idea. So if you were getting a VA in the Philippines to carry out this work for you, you'd be looking at, easily a £500 spend per month to do this work. The actual Leith software is, a fraction, a fifth of that price. It really is. So yeah, definitely worth hopping on a one-to-one call with me. Head over to my website, which is leith.io/strategy, and that will take you to my Calendly page, where you can sign up for a free one-to-one strategy session with myself. During the call, we're going to discuss your current lead generation efforts, identify any pain points that you might be having, and we'll actually create a personalized plan that's going to help you to achieve your business goals using the Leith toolkit. So it's all just value add, basically. I love helping people, and that's what I do best. So thank you very much, and we'll say goodbye for now. Stop the screen share and stop the live recording. But thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, next week we'll be doing a session on pimping your personal LinkedIn profile. So priming that your LinkedIn profile, looking at the photo, the header graphics, looking at the headline text and stuff like that. So yeah, really excited to go through that with anybody that's interested in getting more out of the LinkedIn platform. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye. Hi, Chantel. The live is no longer live.